Hi everyone, Dr. Christy here. Welcome to the Self-Confidence Chronicles. Please join us and subscribe to my channel. My channel is all about body positivity and living a full balanced life. I share some of my favorites and just some of my hobbies and things I love to do, so I hope you'll join us by subscribing. I also have a blog called the Self-Confidence Chronicles, and the website is the selfconfidencechronicles.com, and I hope you'll join us over there too. So let's get to the video. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, 7 ways to improve body image. And I've worked for years now with individuals who struggle with eating disorders and self-confidence and pretty significant body image issues. And this is a pretty common question that I have is, Dr. Christy, how can I improve my body image? And I'm going to share with you 7 things that will significantly improve your work towards that. I have them here on my iPad, so I'm going to just refer back to this. And if you'd like, I also have this in a blog post too called 7 Ways to Improve Body Image on my selfconfidencechronicles.com website. So feel free to check that out as well, and I will link it down below. So the first one, stop placing conditions on yourself based on numbers. What does that mean? You're so much more than the number on the scale or the size that you find on your clothing. And I hear so often, well, if I get to this number or if I get to this size, then I'll be happy. And the problem is it's just a false sense of security. It's a false belief, because then it never works. When you get to that size and you realize, well, maybe I need to be lower, that's when things just start to go further and further down that road. So you're always chasing something with this thought that really is never going to bring you happiness. So you're so much more than a number. You already are those things. So number 2, practicing self-kindness is a must. This is really important too, and it goes with the philosophy, well, once I lose X amount of pounds or once I get to this goal, then I can be kind to myself and reward myself. There's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself. I think that's nice, but part of building body positivity starts with self-kindness. And if people struggle with this, I always actually encourage them to use the rule of other people. So if you do something for yourself, ask yourself, would I do this for someone else? And if your answer is, no, I would never even think of treating someone else like that, then maybe doing the opposite is going to be more beneficial for you. So self-kindness, it's just a must. And even if you don't believe at this point that you should be kinder to yourself, do it anyway. And eventually, you will start believing these things. Number 3, stop the negative self-talk. And this kind of goes hand in hand with practicing self-kindness. If we want to be positive about our bodies and about who we are and build our self-confidence, we kind of need to stop being mean to ourselves and maybe create a more positive mindset and a positive internal voice. So this one will take time. What I would encourage you to do is initially just be more mindful of when you're doing this. So maybe pick a time during the day and say, for this hour, I'm going to pay attention to my thoughts. And if negative thoughts about yourself come up, negative judgments, just say, okay, I'm going to let those go. Good job for noticing those things. Sometimes people can get really frustrated that it's when they are struggling with these negative self-thoughts, self-talk. Another strategy that you can do is something called thought stopping, and it comes from cognitive behavioral therapy, actually, where you literally picture a stop sign. So if you catch yourself, engaging in negative self-thought, negative self-talk, literally picture a stop sign and just stop. And that just kind of allows you to redirect yourself, redirect your thoughts. Again, when this happens, you may do this 100 times in a row. It feels like 1,000 times in a row. It's okay. Every time you stop yourself, don't get mad at yourself. I would encourage you to just be gentle and instead maybe say, good job for noticing. You're getting there. And sometimes you'll have good days where you're noticing these things, and sometimes you won't. But the more you do this, the more you'll be mindful of, if I say this to myself, is this going to be beneficial for me? And you can also use the same strategy here. Would I say this to someone else? If the answer is no, absolutely not, then say something more positive. Try and reframe that. Okay. So number 4, finding new ways to honor yourself on a daily basis, honoring your body, honoring yourself. This is a favorite of mine, and sometimes people who struggle with negative body image really struggle with wanting to do nice things for themselves. And this is a really healthy, positive thing to do. Just finding things that you enjoy. It could be anything. Doing your nails, taking a hot bath, going for a walk. What are some things that you're interested in that can just honor who you are? And it's just a way of taking an action, of saying, hey, I really care about you. And I care about you so much that I'm going to allow you to have some time and just reflect and relax. Number 5. Consider taking a different approach towards food and movement, or AKA physical activity. I kind of avoid saying exercise too much in a lot of things that I write or in my videos, just because there can be a negative connotation associated with it. There's nothing wrong with the word exercise, but I tend to just use the word movement instead, just because it can be more positive. So what do I mean by this? Taking a different approach towards movement. Well, movement does not have to be punitive. Movement doesn't mean that it's something that you have to punish yourself for. Instead, it's a way to honor yourself and honor your body. I care about you so much that I'm going to honor you by doing something enjoyable, by moving. What are some ways that you can enjoy yourself in movement? Dancing, taking a fitness class that maybe you find enjoyable instead of something that is painful for you later. Maybe starting there. When I was part of a hospital program, this was actually something that was really, really important to us. And we had a really amazing fitness instructor who understood this philosophy and really embraced it. And so every week we would come with our patients, he would just give them a sampling of what are some fun ways that you can move and be active. We did everything from kickboxing to boxing to dance. We did palm squat. It was so much fun. And so that's what I mean by doing things, enjoyable for movement rather than punishing. The next part was, maybe considering rethinking your relationship with food. What do I mean by that? Food in terms of taking a non-diet approach. So food is not good or bad. Food could be food. You can enjoy food, but it doesn't have to be something that is off limits. So taking a non-diet approach, nourishing your body rather than saying I have to go without something. So there's lots of research actually done on taking a non-diet approach to food in terms of being able to follow through long term with these things. So I would highly encourage you to do some research on taking a non-diet approach to food. One thing I would strongly suggest is if you're really struggling with this area, consider reaching out to a registered dietitian, not a nutritionist, but a registered and licensed dietitian. But they could be really helpful in helping you create meals and strategies on making food more fun and enjoyable for you. Number 6, having body confidence is so much more than the size you are. And this is so true. Just because someone is a size 2 or a size 0 or whatever size does not mean that they have more confidence in their body than you do. I'm sure you've seen lots of people who maybe are of a higher size and are extremely confident. It really has nothing to do with the number. And so in this step, what I would encourage you to do is, what are some other ways that you can have confidence that don't have to do with the size you are? One of my favorite things is color. I love playing around with color and finding colors that suit my skin tone and my hair color. That's a great way to just highlight some of your best features and make your eyes sparkle, things like that. What hair colors, playing around with hair color or just different types of clothing that suits your body type, frame, and so on could be really fun. And it has nothing to do with the size you are. I want to bring up an important point to this section too, in finding having body confidence, being more than just the size. When I say playing around with color and different cute outfits, I don't mean it in a way to be vain, but sometimes when we know we have a cute outfit, or we know that this color definitely highlights my eyes or so on, you actually feel better about yourself. So that's what I mean by that. And the last one is acceptance. This is a big part of working towards body positivity. It doesn't happen overnight, and typically people want to go about this backwards. They want to put a lot of demands on themselves and say, I have to love myself, I have to be confident in who I am. And that's a far stretch if they're really struggling with a lot of that negative self-talk. So a lot of those other steps have to come first. But when you get to that, even when you do have body confidence and maybe a more positive body outlook, being able to accept that you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. You can be body positive, but also one day feel a little bloated and not feel your best. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that all is lost and I am no longer body confident and body positive. It just means that you're having an off day. And being able to accept that is okay. And that's all part of the process. So those are the 7 ways to help you improve body positivity. And I hope you find them helpful. If you are really struggling with this and you're going through these steps and realizing that they're just really difficult, I would encourage you to find more support. Find a therapist that will help you work on these things. So I hope you find these steps helpful. And again, please join me for my next video and subscribe below. Again, I make lots of videos about body positivity and self-confidence. And until then, I will talk to you soon. Bye.